Hey everyone, Margarita here. I'm going to film this episode today about how my mother uses the words, "Oh, you know how she is. Oh, you know how she is." She uses those words to manipulate. So what's happened is, long term, from the time I was a child, she spun a false narrative about me, a huge web of lies and delusions, grew it over the course of time. I cut ties at 18, her and her entire family. No one realized I cut ties and cut them all off, and everything out of her mouth had been delusions all along. And then she grew it even further from there. And so since she spread so many lies and delusions, people believed all of those situations and stories about me to be real. She would then just repeat, "Oh, you know how she is. Oh, you know how she is." What do you mean? You know that I'm self-made, self-built, and been successful for a really long time, and you keep wiping me out and creating chaotic disasters in my life, and wiping me out repeatedly, forcing me from different homes, while you try to make me look unstable. The funny thing is, I still own the home I'm in for 8 years. So how unstable is that, really? I owned my first home I owned it for, it was like 6 years, I think. I lived in it for 4.5 years, rented it out for another 1.5 years. So yeah, how unstable is that, really? The current home I'm down here in Ohio working on selling right now, that I came down here for today, I've owned that one for 3 years. At the same time, I've owned my main home in Michigan for 8 years. How unstable is that, really? Nobody buys their first home at 18. So those are delusions. I've never made any parts of my life public. I've never been on social media my entire life until now. And the reason for this is to clear my name and tell everybody who I really am, what's really been going on, what my mother's really been up to, because these are all very serious crimes. What has come out of it? All very serious crimes. There are many arrests need to be made. So now I'm coming out in the open, sharing everything with everyone. All these parts of my life have been kept private. And if I had used social media like everybody else has been all of these years, I would have been social media famous a long time ago. Due to the manner in which I've been making my money all of these years, my numerous businesses, everything I've actually been up to in reality, not the false narrative about me. If I had been using social media along that entire way, I would have definitely been rich and famous just off social media alone a long time ago. However, due to the chaos, the crimes, and how injured I've been for the last 7.5 years or so, it wasn't really possible to incorporate that into my life. Not only that, it was still being kept private. So it wasn't possible to incorporate filming into my life or adding those little videos. There was so much already going on that it wasn't even possible. But if I really was who she said I was, I would have been social media famous a long time ago. So I'm literally just now breaking free and coming out into the public with who I am as a person, what's really been going on, how I've really been making my money, all the crimes that have been going on. I'm breaking free from all of that and telling the entire world the truth of everything that has gone on. And yeah, that's the reason for it now. I'm still living in chaos, but the problem is there's an urgency for the truth to come out at this point due to everything that has come out of it, all of the crimes, the position I've been left in, how I'm permanently injured, all of the disasters. It's led to the point where it needs to come out now. So I am incorporating that in now, although I've known I've needed to film all this for about 6-7 years now. So the pieces are all put together. I have not released all of the pieces. There is a giant plot twist. I am getting there. It just has to be done in a certain order. There are individuals involved who know what has happened, the truth of everything. However, it's just not, we're not able to take everybody down currently. We don't have more power than the people committing the crimes. And that's the problem. So, yeah, like, you know how she is? You know, what do you mean? You mean like I'm low-key? I'm like a low-key celebrity. I have been for quite some time. That's why there's no pictures of me. People don't generally have pictures of me, videos of me. It really doesn't exist. Self-made, self-built, successful from a very young age. Yeah, that's who I am. Yeah, that's the reality of it. Not this whole false narrative that was grown over the course of all these decades. That was never real in the first place. So there's a need for all of this to come out now. But literally, if I had used social media the way everybody else did, I'd have been so famous a long time ago. It just wasn't possible to do, and due to how extreme the injury was for so long, I also couldn't incorporate that in either. I also couldn't string sentences together for a few years there as well. So there's numerous problems with why that couldn't happen. But yeah, that's the urgency for it all. That's why it's all coming out now. I guarantee when this all finally blows, I will be known nationwide. Everyone's gonna know who the hell I am, what I've been doing, what's been going on, the amount of crimes that have occurred, all of the people involved in all of it, and everything that's happened along the way and in between. Because there's a lot more to it. There's way more crimes and way more serious situations that have happened other than what I've talked about that were also going on at the same time many of these other situations were going on. I can't even get to those parts yet because I have to get the most urgent situations out first. So stay along with me, follow along with me, because there's much more to all of this. And it does get way more entertaining than what I've already talked about. It's already its own movie, what I've talked about in the 130 videos I've released. There's way more to all of it. And once you incorporate these other pieces of my life, like unrelated to my mother, in as well, because these are other serious situations that don't even involve her, it just makes everything that much more harder, that much more worse, that much more extreme. When you hear everything I've really been through and what's really been going on, each one is going to be its own movie, separately and together. So I'm getting there. It's just going to take me some time. Definitely over 1,000 videos, probably maybe over 2,000 possibly, to get it all out. It is still playing out. That's another thing. But I'm releasing as quick as I can. I'm doing what I can. Follow, like, share, subscribe. There's a lot more I have to talk about, and everything is really jaw-dropping. Everything I've been through, everything that's gone on, the amount of people involved, the amount of situations, the nature of each situation that are tied in with my mother, and then separately the other situations not even connected to her. These are all jaw-dropping experiences and situations that the general public never even deals with, not one of these situations, let alone numerous of them at one time, and it just keeps going. So yeah, follow along, stay with me. I'm getting there. I just have limited capacity. I am trying to get out as much as I can and try to get this exposed as quick as I can, because that seems to be the easiest way to pick up the pieces of my life going forward. I would like to have things flow at some point and be able to live somewhat of a normal life while I'm still younger-ish. Now that I'm over 40, like, this is ridiculous. So what? I'm gonna be 50 and still walking on eggshells and getting chased and harassed by large agencies and people, and all these problems are coming about due to all this. And it's just not logical. Like where I am in Michigan, I'm not safe in my own home. It's ridiculous, all due to jealousy and envy and the ongoing crimes and the false narrative long term. So stay along with me. Every family member involved in my mother's side of the family, mostly her side of the family, I'd say, and many of the friends that she has, they have no idea who I really am. They don't know anything about me. Those hundreds of family members and friends don't know anything about me. Anything coming out of most of those people's mouths is not the truth. It is the exact opposite of the truth. So follow along, stay with me. I'm going to keep exposing people. I'm going to keep exposing the truth and who I really am and what I've really been out here doing. I'm getting there. It's just a lot. But I'm going to take it step by step, and I'll be back with another one. Thanks. Bye.